spinach cheese puff!
Gosh, I sure wish there was a magical girl show that centered around the main characters being really good singers, while also having to defeat a big evil bad guy and hunting down MacGuffin crystals. Oh wait! No, not them, you idiots. No, that's Gothic Lolita. No, that's the book Lolita. No, that's Jailbait. There you go.
The pendant on your necklace, it's magical. Once you activate it, it helps you transform into your magical dress.
I have a magical dress?
Man, I'm a dude and I would want a magic dress. So Iris finds out she's a princess. Of course. But the big bad guy took the throne, and the queen spread magic crystals, the source of power, across the earth. Of course. Now, Iris needs to understand her powers in order to find them and save her kingdom. And as with any magical girl anime, they have the Sailor Moon inspired magical girl transformation sequence. Of course. Actually, I really like the transformation sequences just because while I'm watching it, I can skip that part, so I can skip kind of a big chunk of the episode, and it makes my job a lot faster. So thank you. Thank you so much for adding magical girl transformation sequences. Also, animators deserve shortcuts where they can get them, so it's a double bonus. And man, the first episode hits hard. There's a possible and attractive love interest, magic powers, bad guy, lore dump, and even a concert with legitimately good music.
Starry, get up, ready, move on.
All three of them are princesses, and their kingdoms were conquered by the big bad evil guy. Every episode basically runs the same formula. Iris's necklace sparkles, sensing there's danger, they use a spell to track where the trouble is, and then the cute pet character that's good for marketing sends them to an alternate plane so that they can battle it out without anyone getting hurt. And then it all ends with them singing a new song at their concert. And they may or may not find one of those MacGuffin crystals that launches itself to the super special tiara. Hold on one frickin' second. You guys seeing what I'm seeing? Is that Naruto? They mix it up from episode to episode, but overall that's typically the formula. They mix it up enough to where you really don't care. The writing is still fun and unique for every episode. Honestly, it's kind of hard to say that it's formulaic when they do such a good job at changing it up every episode, but it is formulaic. Is it just me, or is the animation kind of weird? Like, it all looks crisp and has a good amount of detail to every scene, but the animation always looks slightly jittery. Not enough for it to be, overtly distracting, but enough to where when I really look at it, I just get this feeling. I'm not really sure how to place it. I watched this on 2x speed and the animation looked smoother for me. I can't tell if it's just me or not. You know what, while I'm on it, why does the big bad guy keep having his minions do the work? Can't he do it himself and overpower the main characters?
I have a walkie-talkie, and I'm not afraid to use it!
Hold on one frickin' second! Is that Naruto? They're 15, you perverts. I'm watching you. I'm watching the hashtags. I better not see any questionable fan art. I don't need to go through My Little Pony Part 2. Talia is voiced by the same voice actress as Rainbow Dash. It's now tangentially related, and I know that's all you guys need to ruin everything. So Iris apparently has some sort of special super hyper princess Super Saiyan mode. I'm certain that won't become relevant.
It's like the princesses just get them, like magic. Right after they help someone?
Whoa. Wait, did the Dingus minions actually connect 2 and 2 together?
An oracle gem!
What? Big bad guy wins a round? Oh man, now this is getting interesting. Man, like every episode, they get a new outfit, and people like to credit Totally Spies for always mixing up their outfits, but it's almost like it's produced by the same company. Oh man, turns out Iris unlocks a new level of Super Saiyan and gets the ability to stop time. Zawardo. They managed to get kidnapped and taken to Ephidia, Iris's home planet where she was born, and the big bad evil guy broke their special jewelry and now they can't go magical girl. Turns out Iris's parents, the king and queen, are actually alive. Then they drop a big monster to Earth and start capturing everybody. Kinda rude if you ask me. A white-haired anime not protagonist helps Iris break out. Sort of. Turns out there's a resistance against Big Bad Guy, and it's led by Talia's big sister. Turns out she's not dead. They take the crown from its magic protection case, which is exactly what the Big Bad Guy wanted. Wow, it's an obvious trap. I never saw this coming. A Big Bad Guy couldn't touch the crown himself, and only Iris could.
All you have to do is help me use the crown's power. A spell can transfer the power from you to me. If you don't, everyone you love on Earth will be destroyed, and you'll have a front row seat.
Iris decides to give him the power of the crown so that he stops his attack on Earth. So Big Bad Guy wins, show's over. Oh, wait, the resistance, that's right, sorry. So they get her special necklace back to her, and then the crown picks favorites, and they're able to transform again and properly fight Big Bad Guy. So they ditch the fight and go back to Earth to stop the monster. Also, the crown goes into its cocoon again, so that's nice. Now with 5 magical girls, they Kamehameha the monster out of existence. And that's how season 1 ends. Big Bad Guy Greymore isn't defeated, the crown of ultimate power isn't recovered, and all they really learn is that Iris's parents and Talia's sister are alive. So the next season, the Twinions mess up and lose the only MacGuffin crystal they had to LoliRock. Also, Nate finds out their secret.
I'm a magical princess from another planet, a land called Ephidia that's under the rule of a wicked sorcerer. Talia, Ariana, and I are fighting to free it.
And then she uses a super powerful medallion to literally turn back time, undoing everything. Oh, come on! Turns out Ariana's brother is being forced to work for the Big Bad Guy after trapping his whole family. But in an attempt to save them, her brother falls into the rift, back to being a prisoner, so nothing really develops in that area. Also, turns out their aunt is magic too. Really? Big Sis calls, and turns out the crown is almost finished. They just need one more gem. One of the Twinions disguised himself as a guest and managed to steal their ultimate book of super powerful spells. Turns out the final gem was for Iris and Nathan to finally get together.
The answer is yes, Nathaniel. I'll be your girlfriend.
Then Mephisto uses a spell to drop the gem from getting the crown. So they go back to Ephidia, but then the Twinions get to the gem first. Now Big Bad Guy has ultimate power. The Kamehameha fails to Kamehameha kill him, so Iris goes Super Saiyan again. There's some back and forth, but Iris manages to stab his hand, the crown pops out, she gets the power, and the Big Bad Guy go dead. Iris finally gets to meet her parents for the first time. LMAO, too bad, Praxina decides to be the new Big Bad Guy and alludes to a season 3. So now Iris and Nathan can still date, and Nathan gives Iris a ring. I don't think it was a proposal, but because they're teenagers, but I'm pretty sure it was basically a proposal. I don't know, that's probably a foreign thing. I'm an American, that is just weird. And then there was no season 3.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get it.
So, what happened? The real reason is known behind the scenes, not really up to the public, but the only real supposedly credible source is the production team's Tumblr page, which all looks to be incredibly legitimate. The biggest red flag was that there was no merchandise for the show, that being dolls, mugs, toys, anything really. The thing that the show was selling was music. And this is where I'm gonna have to do some interpretation for you guys. To me, it looked like the cartoon was made to promote songs, which I think was obvious to everyone, and you can get them on iTunes, and that's where the show was really trying to make money. The problem was a much more simple one. LoliRock wasn't as popular as you'd like to think. Even with the FAQ on the production team's Tumblr page, you see them say that they're waiting for the right audience. which gives off the impression it wasn't actually successful. There's no numbers I could find on the show and the viewership, which means one of two things. One, I'm bad at my job and I don't know where to look for these numbers. Or two, they're hiding them. It's probably the first one, I'm not gonna lie. But just looking at the ratings for IMDb and Netflix and basically anywhere else I could really find, even on the not as well-known sites, you can see that the general rating for this is lukewarm. No one's really saying that the show is anything special on review sites. But there is another reason, and that's that the show actually uses profanity. Sort of. Depends on who you ask.
Well, maybe you should just all come to lunch.
Chaswick. What they're trying to say is, hell yeah!
And this made people mad. And by people, I mean Americans. And by Americans, I mean parents. The reviews from parents kinda made them review bomb it. They all said, how dare they? Cursing profanities in my children's ears. Oh dear lord, I can't have this. And there wasn't even that many people reviewing it online anyway, so it didn't really take all that much effort to review bomb it. I mean, like, the IMDb page has like one critical review, and that no doubt gave the show some bad press, which in turn pushed it away from the audience it needed. What's funny is that I don't think hell yeah is a bad word. I didn't even register that Talia said it in this video when I was watching it. I had to look it up, find the episode again, go back to it to find the clip. It just did not pop out in my brain. It's just such a non-issue to me. But with overly protective parents, the writers might as well be crucified for having foul language. It's a bunch of Karens that didn't like hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
From generally what I could find, and from some Twitter posts and some community YouTube posts that I put up, not a lot of people responded to that, but okay. Saying hell and hell yeah in France isn't really considered that big of a deal. It's not even really considered that much of a profanity, if at all. So if you ask me, LoliRock is in a limbo zone purely because of some bad controversy. That isn't even really that bad. And it's that controversy that's bogging down people's perception of the show. So I'm gonna tell you right now, this show is really good. Like, yes, I did say it's formulaic, but let me give it to you straight. The overarching plot is actually pretty engaging, and when it actually gets to the season finales, it's really interesting. Plus, yeah, I mentioned that the animation's kinda funky, but it's still a much higher quality than most any other show I see regularly. So I'm sorry, LoliRock fans. If you want to try and support the show, because it is kind of in a limbo zone, they haven't really outright said there is no season 3, it's more of a we're still trying to judge if it's even worth it because it's still recent enough to be renewed. What you gotta do is you gotta be more vocal about it. You gotta get some hashtags going. You gotta, if it's on Netflix in your country, I don't think it's on Netflix in America. If it's on any streaming service in your country, watch it a lot. Like, just keep it on repeat, man. Because it's these kind of measurements that they're looking for. Also, sharing this video is a kind of measurement they're looking for. You should definitely do that. Sharing videos of your favorite topic is very important, and it's not because I want more views. That's not the reason at all. Anyway, that's everything I have for this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. I have a Patreon if you want to support the channel. Stay beautiful and keep playing.